light. Now we read the first chapter today. So you know that the sun, the moon, and the stars were not created till when? The fourth day. So what is this light that is created? Not you. You don't get no break. They give me break today. Not you either. Why? You've been around too long. This light is called wisdom. And where do we read about that at? Proverbs where? Say it again. 8. Hallelujah. Proverbs 8. Proverbs 8. You got your Bible? Yeah. I told you a couple of weeks ago, I asked a question. I just begged that you please bring your Bible so that we can examine this Torah together. We can examine it. 8 and 22. Proverbs 8 and 22. 8 and 22. If someone has it, please stand and read it for me real quick. Because I got one of these newfangled Bibles, you know, and the wording is different. Nobody has it? You got it? Oh, you got the whole Bible? Okay, a whole bunch of old Bibles. Oh, you got 3 whole Bibles. Good.
The Lord created me at the beginning of his works. Yes. As the first of his works of old. In the distant past I was fashioned, at the beginning, at the origin of earth.
At the very origin of earth, before earth, the Eternal brought wisdom to bring into creation. And wisdom, now this is, I'm sorry, this is just a fact. I'm just for the brothers, because sometimes brothers get upset. But wisdom is not masculine. Wisdom is a feminine characteristic. Don't you get it?
Yes, I get it.
Do you get it?
I get it.
You can never be greater from that from which you come from. Now, if you were born without a mother, but I believe all of us here were born of a mother. I don't think we got any test tube babies. Now, some of y'all may have been raised on Similac. That's a different story. But I don't think we got any test tube babies. I know you worked with some Similac babies, didn't you? I know you did. Trying to get them jobs, doing their job. So listen, this wisdom is this feminine quality. So the eternal has to. What is the eternal? What is the eternal? The eternal is absolute, unequivocal, pure creation. Next Arab Shabbat, I want to deal a little bit about man and woman and the serpent, so that we can examine those things. And I don't want you to get sidetracked. I don't want you to get led astray. Run and run. Now, let me tell you this. When we examine this thing, the serpent was one of the most powerful entities in antiquity amongst ancient societies. It was seen as very powerful, seen as wise. They call the serpent wise. So you might think that the serpent was the first thing created. Now, if you've ever read the Numa Elish story, Gilgamesh, you read about the serpent. Okay? And then you read in certain cultures about God having a birthday. Yeah. When God was made, or the gods were made. Many cultures talk about that. God of Israel does not have a birthday. There is no family the age of God. Because the eternal was before the universe was called into existence. And as a matter of fact, every week we say, Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Haaretz. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is filled with his glory. Well, you know how that came to be? And the first part here says, and the earth was, empty and void, and tohu ma, and that God didn't have to contract himself, its being, this essence, into itself to make space for the universe. And what you feel is the residue. And you say, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. What are you talking about, Rabbi? I'm talking about it's like you get the scent. A beautiful scent that rests within you. Someone perfect, but the scent still hungry. It could be a bad scent. I'm just all over. That can work both ways. So be mindful. But you don't see what you smell. But through smelling, you understand that something was there. That something is this entity that we call Elohim, that we call Yehovah, that we call Adonai. So we're going to look at this. Because these chapters, and here's the deal. This isn't, well, you got to ride with this talk. Okay? You remember, I read that a little differently. That's okay. That's it. Because we read it says, and they were both naked, and they were not ashamed. I think that their being naked meant that they were very honest with each other. That their relationship was one that there was no reason, they didn't have to tell them, well, you can't tell them all the time. Naked means be totally exposed and not ashamed of who you are, what you've done. They're not walking around naked. But on the other hand, the very next verse says, and the serpent connects with the nakedness, but you see, that means something. Many